I'm Merideth with XT, and today I'm talking with Craig and Missy about their Wranglers. So starting off, you have a 2008 JK Wrangler. For the wheels, you have 17 by 9 inch Dirty Life DT1 9303 matte gold wheels with a negative 12 millimeter offset. For wheel spacers, you have the Red Rock 1.5 inch wheel spacers, gives the Jeep an aggressive stance. Tires, you have 35 by 12.5 R17 LT, Mickey Thompson Baja MTZ P3 tires, and then the suspension is the Teraflex 3-inch lift kit suspension with the Force Sport flex arms, track bar, and 9550 VSS shocks. Can you tell me why you chose this setup?
We knew we wanted to have at least a 35-inch tall tire, so we kind of started from there and kind of reverse engineered it a little bit. And we like to go off-roading, but it still has to fit to build a drive on the street, and I didn't want to break the bank. So that was a primary reason why I went with the Teraflex lift kit, was to make room for the 35s and to give it some off-road capability. As far as the rims go, we were at a show in Ocean City. We actually saw the rims there, and we hunted down the guy that had them. With the color of the Jeep and the matte gold against them, it gets a lot of compliments. I just like the look.
Do you guys daily drive it? Sounds like you take it to shows. Do you do any off-roading?
We typically, it's a third vehicle, so we do daily drive it, but it's in a third vehicle role. It can sit for a week or two, and then it can drive every day for a month. This year, we actually got to team up with some people we've gotten to know, become real close with. How many trails we take on this year?
6 or 7.
We started off anywhere from greens, and we actually built up our nerve to take on a red at Roush this year.
So starting with the wheels, Craig and Missy have the 17 by 9 Dirty Life DT1 9303 matte gold wheels with the negative 12 millimeter offset, in addition to the 1.5 inch Red Rock wheel spacers. So you said that you saw these at a show and tracked that guy down. Is that like the main reason why you were going for these wheels?
Yeah, I was looking for a specific design, and that's pretty close to what I had in mind. I looked a lot, and I'd find a rim that had the right design but the wrong color, or the right color but the wrong offset, or I wanted to stay with the 17-inch rim. They're very durable, and also you can set them up to be true beadlock rims. So that's always an added bonus. As we start increasing what we're doing and we get into a situation where I need beadlocks, all I have to do is change that rim face, and they become a beadlock rims.
The 9-inch width paired with the negative 12 millimeters of offset and the 1.5 inch spacer gives the Jeep an aggressive stance. Why did you choose that stance in particular?
Well, the 1.5-inch spacers actually were a carryover from the factory rims. We got the Jeep, but originally had the factory rims and 33s on it. And on a hard turn, they would rub on the sway bar. So we put the spacers on there to keep it from rubbing. And when we put the aftermarket rims and tires on, I like the look, and we just kept the spacers on there. I'm not sure that I would need them now. When you're at full flex going over some rocks, whatever, that 1.5 inch actually does help considerably to keep from rubbing up against any suspension components.
Would you say that if you have a comfortable ride with these wheels and the extra width?
Comfortable with a 2-door JK? Yeah, it's as comfortable as it can be. But yeah, we don't have any problems. A lot of people complain about, death wobble or any ill handling features our Jeeps have. We have no problem. We go up and down the road. It's perfectly stable. Rides rough as characteristics of a Jeep go, but handles very well.
Now, are you happy with the 17-inch wheel and the 35s as far as the sidewall is concerned when it comes to airing down for the trail?
Yeah, we never hit a situation this year where a different tire would have been the difference between making it over an obstacle or not.
Now, is there a particular reason why you wanted to go with a 17 by 9 over a different size?
It came more from a tire selection point of view than anything. I know I wanted a 35 1250. I didn't want to step back to a 15-inch rim, and I didn't want to go up to a 20. So that met a price point and availability when it came time to put the package together. But if I went down to a 15 or 16-inch rim, I'd probably have brake clearance issues anyways. I'm happy with the look and the performance of the 17.
Again, you have the 35 by 12.5 R17 LT Mickey Thompson Baja MTZP tires. This is an aggressive tire. It looks fantastic paired with that wheel. Can you tell me why you chose this tire?
Originally, when we got the Jeep, it had the 33 Mickey Thompsons on it. We drove it that way for a few years, and I just liked the way they performed. So come time to get another tire, I sought out something close to that same tread design with the same manufacturer, and that's what we named it.
And is there a reason why you went with a 35 compared to swapping it out for another 33?
Well, we knew we'd be doing some off-road, so I was looking for an additional, more off-road performance, a little more clearance. It's no wider than the 33, but it just gives you a little bit more height. And when you air down, it gives you more sidewall.
And it sounds like you had a good experience with a mud terrain tire. Is that kind of why you stuck with that instead of maybe moving to like an all-terrain?
They are louder than an all-terrain tire, but the benefits of the on-road noise more than counteract that when you're off-road and you need the extra grip.
Can you say that they are relatively comfortable for a mud terrain tire?
Yeah, they're definitely compliant right on the highway. They're not truly overly loud. Some of the guys we run with, I can hear their tires over mine at 65, 70 mile an hour. So it's not really as loud or awful of a ride as you might think you get from a mud terrain tire.
Did you need to calibrate for the bigger tires as far as regearing or any speedometer recalibration?
We still do. We still have the check air pressure gauge comes on and the speedometer's probably off a little bit. We never did get around to doing that.
Now, does it feel any more sluggish with the 35s compared to the 33s or even the stock tires?
It may be a little bit more sluggish. I mean, we really only lost maybe a little over an inch and a half of height, so it's negligible.
Well, let's get into the suspensions. You have the Teraflex 3-inch suspension lift kit with the 4 sport flex arms, the track bar, and the 9550 VSS shocks. Why this kit?
I wanted something that had good off-road capabilities, was a little bit more than the basic bolt-on lift block kit. I wanted the suspension that performed more so than just make clearance for the 35s. And this was an economical price point to be able to do what I wanted to do and not really break the bank. We've wheeled with people that have twice the amount of suspension kits that we have in ours, and this thing has performed flawlessly. It has plenty of flex, it has plenty of compliance on the road. It doesn't squeak, it doesn't rattle. It's a really well engineered and put together system. This kit came with a heavy duty track bar as opposed to just a relocation bracket, and I thought that was pretty big for the front suspension. I mean, that's what's keeping me in control of the vehicle. And if you look at the distance between the top of that flat fender and top of my tire, I've pushed that tire into that fender before, flexing it, and the drive shafts never gave me problems. The suspension never gave me a problem when I ran over the obstacle. I can't complain at all about the suspension. It's performed exactly the way that I thought it would.
You mentioned that you had some fitment issues with the 33s, so that's why you added the wheel spacers, but when putting on the 35s, did you notice anything with the 3 inches of lift?
No, nothing interferes at all. We haven't had any rubbing or anything.
With everything combined, how do you guys like the way that it looks?
In our group, we're one of the only 2 doors. It has a different look, but it still looks kind of set up and ready to go, though it is noticeably smaller in stature than the others because of just the body type that it is.
Now, if you had to go back, start from day one, would you have done anything differently?
If I shied away from the performance side of it and went to an all-terrain tire, or if I stayed with 33, I might not have been able to get where I got this year. And had I gone to a 37 or gone to a long arm kit or something, I probably wouldn't want to drive it on the road quite as much right now. So I think that we kind of found a slot to put the Jeep in, and that's where it's lived at and had a good time.
Now, are there any future plans for the Jeep?
Yeah, we actually were upgrading this year. We're going to step up our axle game a little bit because it's the Sport JK. It has open differentials in Dana 30 front and Dana 44 rear, and we have a new setup with Dynatrac Dana 60 rear and Dana 44 Pro Rocks with 488s and lockers. So we're stepping up to that this off season. So hopefully next year we won't struggle quite as much on some of those obstacles.
Thank you so much for sharing all the information about your build and kind of telling me your story behind it. So for everybody watching at home, I just want to kind of give a recap on Craig and Missy's build. Again, they have the 2008 JK Wrangler, the 17 by 9 inch Dirty Life DT1 9303 matte gold wheels with a negative 12 millimeter offset, Red Rock 1.5 inch wheel spacers, 33 by 12.5 inch R17 LT, Mickey Thompson Baja MTZ P3 tires, and the Teraflex 3-inch suspension lift kit with the Flex Sport Arms, track bar, and 9550 VSS shocks. Again, thank you so much. And for all things Jeep, remember to keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.